Hello and welcome back to Adventures Antipod presents the In-Quy'zz-ition. So, as you can see, we're a little short right now, but that's for two reasons. Number one, that's for three reasons actually. Number one,
Trazhie hasn't had a growth spurt in like 5 years, so.
Four reasons.
I've been the same size since 6th
Okay, that's for
grade.
4 reasons. Number one, that. Number two, this. So, FntasyLover will be with us very shortly. They're doing something and are preoccupied. I forgot what. They said what it was and I forgot. But yeah.
Holes and staples.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, Dadley has to be with his kid to drop him off for something to do with vacation. Spring break.
Spring break. Spring break.
So that was number 3, not number 2. And number 4, one of these spots is a future character. We're approaching the point where I'm going to be bringing in a new player soon, depending on the events of the next couple of episodes. And this is the preview of what the layout is going to look like with them involved as well. So, you will meet them sooner rather than later, and I hope y'all give them a warm welcome when they're here. But for now...
I'm gonna look and see where I'm located now on the stream, because normally I'll like look over at people's cameras, but I don't remember now.
It's similar to what it was before. I think the only thing that changed is the new player is going above you
Okay.
in the layout. So, for now... just a quick
your
mention.
Rightful place on stream. You are a bottom, Trazhie.
Hey, listen.
Wasn't expecting you guys for a few more minutes.
Happy to say.
Go there.
Are we early? We're not early. We're like late, aren't we?
Yeah, we're a little late.
We're a little late. So
Yeah, just like wait, no. Do we start at 6:30?
It is 6:24. And if
I put us
start
at 6
usually-
p.m. on the Instagram. Thing,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
we need
so
to get like a
think
whole
we
ass list made.
it said
on
6:30 on
our
Instagram.
Google.
Oh, it said
Google
6:30 on Instagram.
Calendar is a wonderful.
It said 6:30 on Instagram.
So we are a little
No,
early.
I'm sorry. Anyway, hi.
Hello,
Hi.
welcome to the In-Quy'zz-ition. So this is just a little bit of idle patter. Quick shout out to tabletopaudio.com. It's usually 6:30. That's fair. Hello, Gear. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. What was I saying? Quick shout out to tabletopaudio.com. The source of the lovely audio that you are hearing now. The little ambiance. They're a wonderful platform that provides such ambiance and music and sound effects for your games, whether in real life or online. It improves the experience for everybody involved. For the DM to describe their scene and for the players to get immersed in the scene. Yes, there are a lot of missing people. I just explained it. Go watch the YouTube video. So, thank you, Tabletop Audio. And until we get Fantasy here, we can do kind of a cold open, if you will. So, ads. So,
Allie doesn't have any hair, so I'm gonna veto a cold open.
oh,
Listen, I
very
demand,
fair.
I demand a hot bath and a foot rub.
Yes.
I have no feet,
Maybe some steam.
so you
know?
will fail in this mission.
Oh
Take
no.
some steam.
Then we are in the wrong campaign.
What happened?
'Cause I could have done that with Iggy.
Aw. Speaking of which, Renatus, watch it on Tuesdays.
Aha!
And the
Lots of
first
fun.
episode is up on YouTube. So go watch it there
And we
too.
have an interesting one-shot.
Here, I
thing for
just
tomorrow.
said where Fantasy and Dadley. Dadley is dropping his kid off for spring break, and Fantasy is going to be here shortly.
Yes.
So, oh, it was because they had ads. Sorry. Never mind then. So, last we left off, the In-Quy'zz-ition, we had ads. We missed the part with the ads. Okay, I understand. Thank you. I've got a little bit of different energy going on today. Anywho. So. Last we left the In-Quy'zz-ition, our lovely players regathered themselves up and brought themselves over to the hole in the floor where they believed their target was located and succeeded in distracting a large number of empty cloaks, as they are called, and a clockwork watchman in order to make first contact with their contact. They talked for a little bit, but the cloak and the watchman eventually followed them down into the hole, and combat therefore thusly furtherly ensued. It was a fun episode last time. Allie almost fucking got pushed off a cliff.
Oh, that's fun.
The reflexes of my people. Falling was never going to happen.
You were definitely pulled in that direction, though.
You have
Just
a
wanted
climb
everyone to
speed,
think
you're
I was
fine.
going to die.
That's how I get my friends to stick so close. I make them think that I'm about to die every day. Okay. So, they eventually defeated the cloaks and the watchmen, and made their way back up the hole, from which they sauntered back through the UWTR number 057 that they had just traversed, and they were pondering jumping down another hole in the floor in a different part of the facility last that we left them. But the person who is doing that pondering is not here today, so I will leave it up to the group that is here to decide what they might like to do.
Zod just gets distracted and ponders this hole for a very long time, and we go back.
Zog, the whole ponderer. Oh no.
Ponders the hole.
So, the rest of you lovely folks, what might we like to do at this moment in time?
I'm not there currently.
No.
Oh.
Quinlan is going to just see
Existentialism.
Zog doing this pondering and kind of zoning out and just catch up to us and walks off. Like, when you're done, we'll be out front.
I follow Quinlan.
All right, so Quinlan, Allie, you both make your way. Willow will tentatively follow behind you two. Where we reapproach and meet back up with Sundial.
Hey, can I make a roll to see if I found a nice, like, sleeping jar in this place?
I will say that yes, for the past couple of episodes where we have left you to your own devices, you could have looked around for a nice container.
Make an
So
investigation check to do such a thing. Also,
you
getting
would have
my
been
LED
looking.
dice out.
I will say that you've been looking long enough that no investigation check is really required. You will
But I
just
wanna-
have found something really good.
I want to roll my dice. I have,
Oh my goodness, the
Yes.
LED dice.
yes. I have
Well then, roll those dice, my dude. Make it an investigation check. Watch it be a 1. It was gonna be an auto success. Watch it be a 1.
Such is my luck. All right, what's my investigation? God, it's been a minute.
Somebody doesn't
that
have their
is an
character sheet
18, my good man.
18. All right. So, you had a conversation with Zog for a little bit about what you were, about what you have become. And that conversation was a roleplay moment that did not occur on stream, nor did it occur between our players, because we haven't had the time. So, in the moments after Zog left to rejoin the group in order to get the target, you've been sat to think, and you thought, I gotta find something to keep myself in.
I tried sleeping, and I just ended up becoming a puddle.
Yeah, and you were just a big old spread out puddle on the floor.
How about so? Sundial is dealing with two new things. One, he's dealing with mad body dysmorphia because he's like, "What is my form now?" And when it used to be like, "Oh, I'm just rocks and stuff that I pick up." And secondly, he's having a hard time sleeping.
Yeah. So you wander around for a little bit, exploring the barracks that your friends had previously gone into ahead of you, and looking around for something that might be suitable to fit yourself inside.
Yes.
Now, this place has not exactly been presenting the idea of a like pottery or large containers other than like closed chests and
Is
like
there
chests
like
of
a
drawers.
plant vase that I can?
Well, what I will tell you is that in the barracks there are 4 what I can only describe as like moderately sized like cubes that one of their they're open on the top and it's 4 walls and a bottom. There is no lid, but these sit in the corners of the room almost as if they were designed to be, for lack of a better way to put it, trash cans. Looking down into each one, you see remnants of like really long forgotten like papers and like metal scraps. You see and everything else that would have been organic that's just been sitting in here has turned to either black mold or soot. And this is like one of the most disgusting parts of this dungeon that you've seen, because this is the only part that organic material was left in when it was abandoned. But you kind of look around each one. There are 4, like I said, and looking in each one, you find the one that has the least detritus and scrap in it. And you kind of like pick it up. It's light. It's really light. Lighter than metal, lighter than stone, lighter than wood. You kind of shake it around a little bit, and
is it plastic?
It's a little weebly. This is for the viewers at home. Yes, this is a D&D equivalent to plastic.
Okay.
The predecessors, being an advanced series of races and technologically advanced, basically made it, in my own mind, in the world, the predecessors basically made it to like the early 60s current era, like in Earthen time, before the Cataclysm hit.
Yes.
And then everything regressed back to like basically year 0.
Okay.
So that's why everything is just a giant junkyard. Why there's a lot of metal and a lot of other trash and random shit everywhere.
So here's something that you could have also. Is there like a backpack or something?
If there was one, it would be heavily decayed. Probably. Okay. But looking around, in the barracks though, I suppose, what was your 18 was your investigation? Yes. I would say, looking around, you could probably reasonably find a rucksack.
Rucksack.
So a rucksack is like a backpack, but slightly wider, and with more pockets on the sides and stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's like a backpack, but with it's like a backpack cargo pants. That's what a rucksack is. Yeah. Try saying that 5 times fast. I know Trazhie just did.
He is.
Are you supposed to be
at...
muted, Trazhie?
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I often mutter to myself during scenes.
At this point, Sundial cannot make decisions of what he wants his form to be in, and he doesn't know what's comfortable. He will try and fit into both and not know, and just take.
You're gonna try to fit into the rucksack.
Yes, I'm gonna try and like into the rucksack because I hold all my things. So why would I use a backpack to hold my things?
Right.
When I can
Okay.
just go into the backpack and put all my things in the
I will say
backpack.
as much as this. You start to, like, kind of coagulate yourself into the rucksack, and you feel yourself kind of porously passing through the material of the rucksack back onto the floor. Almost like, you know when you have, like, a wet lunch bag, and the food is just kind of sopping out of the bottom of the bag onto the table or onto the floor? That's what you, as a character, are doing to this rucksack right now.
He comes out of the rucksack.
You're kind of sopping out of it a little bit.
Can I take, like, does it have, like, hands or, like, straps or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. You're just going to look at the rucksack. I'm going to take my dagger and just cut those off.
Mm-hmm.
And then take the trash can and make, like, a loop.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Make a just a base level intelligence check. See if you can affix these straps to this box.
Baseline intelligence, cool. Dirty 20.
Nice. All right. So you just kind of like sing, cut each strap off, and you then put each strap on to the box, to the little bin, and you're able to kind of like meld it on with a tiny bit of like organic matter, a tiny bit of your matter, and like a little bit of thoughtful engineering here. You are able to affix the straps to the bin.
Okay.
And you kind of like shloop yourself into the bin. It's a nice, perfect fit. You have just a little bit of surface tension peeking out over the side, over the lip of the bin, but you can kind of like form a little like periscope to just like look up over the top of the bin while you're sitting in it.
Fantastic. So I have a little periscope, so I'm like a little submarine thing carrying
This
device.
bin is full of you, and the periscope is just you, one of your eye stalks, basically.
It is the pseudopod.
Yeah, pseudopod,
thing,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's because now I am connected with what? Why can't I remember my cat's name?
Mosaic.
Now that I'm connected to Mosaic can peek up for me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, after all of that is said and done, you
I come
kind of
back,
like,
and when
you
they
like
find me,
sling the straps back onto your back, and you like stand up in your more humanoid form and walk back out to the main area.
I'm just gonna be a little bean, like a little bean, with tiny arms, and just like, just because I don't know what I am, so I'm just gonna be round.
You shrink significantly, become more rotund. You just a small little guy.
I'm just a little guy, man.
Just a small
That's what
little
I'm feeling
guy.
like.
You gonna have beef with a small little guy? You sit and you wait for a couple more minutes. You hear a little bit of like rumbling and a loud thump from the other side of the dungeon. But after a couple more minutes, Allie, Quinlan, Willow reappear.
Hi.
They come back through the opening from the reception. Allie, Quinlan, and Willow all see Sundial, or what at least is assumed to be Sundial. At this point, you know this is Sundial. You see Sundial kind of like just...
I'm going to assume that I have taken a long rest at this time.
A long rest? You haven't waited long enough for that.
Okay, then can I?
You can
have
definitely take a short rest if you want, because that much time has definitely passed, but a long rest, no.
Found
What did I
yourself
get?
a comfortable box.
And yes, you do indeed see a large, I'm gonna say that like it's like a 20 by 20 square. It's like a 20 by 20 cube. And he's able to just kind of like just sink into it if he wants.
He has a box though.
He's a box.
Yeah.
I'm a box.
I literally go,
That's a little
sundial.
boxing guy.
That looks like a very comfortable box.
Yeah. It's comfortable.
Good job.
I'm
Allie.
Ellie understands boxes, okay?
The compulsion to the compulsion
when I get out, do
try
you,
this
like,
box
try
out
and
for
sit?
yourself.
It's not my box, I can't. Maybe later.
the compulsion to lay in this box grows stronger.
Should I roll a kind of wisdom saving throw? Should not try to get in the box.
You're not in
didn't
saving
think
throw
about this
territory. You're
part.
not in saving throw territory yet, but you're
I didn't
definitely.
think about
be
this
ru-
part.
Allie's mind is going, I think I could fit in it with him if I really try. Like, if
You
I fits, I
would be
sit.
covered in sundial if you tried to
Yeah,
fit in that box with him.
that's
What's
like what
wrong
Allie's
with being
trying to
covered
do.
in sundial, sir?
Allie's trying to like, I don't have any fur, so if I do get covered in sundial, it'll just wash off. But also, like, is that weird being inside of someone else? Like, it's like probably. I already got in a box today. I'll hold off on this
I'll be right
box
back.
for now.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Now I gotta change my name on Zoom. Here, hold on.
Oh no. 20 by 20 feet. No, 20 by 20 inches. 20 by 20 feet would be a friggin' bathtub. My good.
If I fits, I sit.
Very large.
I am
bathtub.
a hairless tabaxi. Yes, I'm a hairless tabaxi with vitiligo. That is who I am.
Yeah. Very good, very good, very fun. Man, why is the Twitch stream not loading for me? There we go.
Yes.
Well,
if fits,
at this point I think
sit.
I've missed. I think at this point I've missed the clip of. So if someone else wants to try to get it, go for it, or maybe just go back into the VOD.
Which clip?
26 minutes in. Just clip. I don't know. You just fitting in the box with some.
Thinking about it, mathing
Thinking
it out.
about it. Thinking about it.
Immediately remember that I have a bit of sundial in a jar, like in a vial in my bag, and I.
Oh,
choose
yeah,
not
by
to
the
mention
way.
it right now.
As you get closer to sundial in this present moment, that bit of material, you know that you like feel around in your pocket and you see that.
I'm not gonna pull it out. I don't want. I'm hoping sundial forgets I have it.
Oh, sure, okay. Then
But
never mind.
I remember. I go, oh yes, I have that in my bag. That's right.
Then never mind.
That's a tool that'll help us later.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. And now, Dono has had to go take care of a family thing, which is leaving literally less than half of the current participants in this game. A sundial.
Fantasy is on her way.
Fantasy is on their way, yes.
Yep.
They're gonna be here soon. TM.
What's up?
TM.
Can I make an insight check on Allie to see if they are like interested in my box, or can they make like a deception check?
It's not. I'm not sneaky about it. I'm eyeing your box, and then I'm eyeing you, and then I'm eyeing the box. Like I'm like you could like it's like the numbers meme with the lady and the numbers all around, like trying to do the math. Can I fit in this box with you?
Would you like to take it for a ride?
See, now he's offering it to you.
I mean, if you're offering, I do have good insight in boxes. I could give you my thoughts on it if I took it for a spin.
All right, my son was trying to get me to get him peanut butter, but I'm like, you have a mother.
It's not who he wants the peanut butter from.
Okay, so last 5 seconds, what just happened?
If you want, I could. I would. I mean, I'm a connoisseur of boxes, so I could give you
will-
some insight if I could take it for a spin.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
A connoisseur of
And
boxes.
allies. Allie,
Connoisseur of boxes.
bard, bard slash
Now that's
connoisseur.
Boxes.
I don't know how to spell connoisseur,
I
but
haven't-
CONNOSIEUR, I believe. No, Connor, I believe. Connoisseur. Yes.
I have lived in a variety of
Yes.
boxes in my life.
I
Occupied them.
that. Okay. That sound. What?
Oh, not the jar of peanut butter?
The jar.
Every time I see one of your kids, I'm like, are they like, they're like very, like, they have dog tendencies. Like, they just want peanut butter all the time.
They are
sit on your
snacky
lap.
children. They are such.
Hey,
They are snacky
In the best
children.
of ways. In the best of ways.
There's nothing wrong with being snacky.
That's
Okay.
facts.
Hey, same. They are
I have always have
very.
snacks on stream, so.
They are loving. They are kind, but they can also be mean. But yeah, they are very snacky children. I try and cook dinners, and half the time it's like a 50-50 shot of them actually wanting to eat it, or instead having snacks. So we have a lot of snacks in the house because in our house, if you eat, it's a win. All right, like it doesn't matter. Like I'm not gonna make you not eat, you know. So they get chicken nuggets. They get like a bunch of different things. So we try and stay out of like fast food, but we've been failing at that, being that we went on vacation.
Good for you.
Yeah. Connoisseur boxes. Allie, got it. Noted.
And now we're literally kind of just waiting on fantasy
Yeah.
to move forward.
The Burb is with us, right? I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah. Friggin' what's his name? Hold on. That
I'm
would
curious
be.
what he's thinking in this moment.
Yeah, that would be.
This seems like a totally normal, healthy interaction between friends.
That would be
Between a slime and a
Adalbrecht.
cat,
That would be
like-
Adalbrecht Rangefinder. So Adalbrecht is like sitting on the stoop of the steps, like
If
at the
you
bottom.
named a character Adalbrecht?
Adel.
Adal.
Adal. No,
Adal.
Adel.
A-D-A-F.
Summer. I'm like, you sweet summer child.
Dono, we
You
literally.
should be more careful.
This name was introduced to you like 7 sessions ago, buddy. Dono. I'm glad that Sundial has not been around this character yet,
No.
but Hunter Adalbrecht Rangefinder kind of sits at the bottom of the steps below the entrance that y'all have come into and begins to like he takes out his quarterstaff / heavy crossbow, and it's more like a bow staff. It's like a thick bow staff, because a regular quarterstaff would be like a walking stick, right? And all the mechanisms for a heavy crossbow wouldn't be able to fit in that. So
It's like Aang stick, but instead of it like coming out to be a flying thing, it's a fucking gun.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a crossbow. It's a heavy crossbow, and he kind of like puts it into heavy crossbow mode. The 2 arms extend out. The string.
Is this man gnome size?
This is a blue feathered Aarakocra. Blue feathered. Kind of imagine a blue
He's got a
jay.
broken wing though.
Imagine a. I wrote down his description somewhere.
got a bum
back
wing.
here. Yes, the reason that he
That'll
didn't
teach
just
him.
fly, the reason he didn't just fly out was because he had a broken wing.
Who I have.
He's an operative of Camden's Hall. He is like a blue Aarakocra. Imagine like a blue jay, but with a little bit more crow-like of a beak than a blue jay, and like what. Someone put it to me this way. I think Dadley said it this way one time. Imagine Mordecai from regular show, but like D&D-ified. That's what
Love that.
Adalbrecht basically looks like.
I love that for him then.
Dude. Margaret.
Because honestly, I could see a gnome taking a heavy crossbow and like making it so it comes into itself with a spring activation.
Yeah.
Becoming a giant, like being their walking stick, and then becoming, because they're tinkerers,
Yeah.
which is like a dope character idea. To be like
It looks.
silent assassin.
Getting a better look at Adalbrecht, anyone with just like passive it's passive perception, just looking over Adalbrecht, you know, getting a better look at just his natural state. He begins to like tune up his crossbow staff. But you see that just all over him, it looks like there are other just random length, random sized rods on his body that, like, a couple of you saw another one that he, like, pulled out and he clicked a button on it and it turned into a ladder. Well, there are a couple more just festooning the outside of his body, or, like, underneath his cloak, and it seems that, like, this, is for those with a high passive insight, you might think that, it's almost resemblant of a bird picking out the perfect sticks for a nest. And he's a very, like, twitchy individual in his downtime. He's tuning up his crossbow, but he's also, like, looking around every so now and then at the environment around him, but almost skimming past the party itself
I
to
have
see
made a note
if there's
that
danger. Yeah.
Adalbrecht.
Adalbrecht.
Adalbrecht? Okay, because I put it down as anal break, but is a rod connoisseur.
It like sticks.
Like sticks.
I can't with y'all right now.
I can see why, like, the session went a lot.
When it was Fantasy, myself, and Rhys, we were
just
It was
we
like
were
go,
getting
go.
shit done.
yeah.
It was go, go, but it was also like, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
That's facts.
we got stuff done.
Yeah.
We were also scared to get other things done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're the ones who want to throw other people in the way, and our meat shields.
I think it's been established that I'm a coward. So
So, Adalbrecht
Is it
does
cowardice?
look up
Scared
from, does look up, oh my god, does look,
you're slowly starting to realize that Allie's just it's just
he looks up
Little guy.
from his tinkering and looks at the group and he's like, you all wouldn't have happened to have passed by some kind of, like, secret room in your travels here? You know, there's, like, one of the things that Camden's Hall told me to look for was, like, an alcove with, like, machinery and tools and spare parts inside of it, pristine, untouched by the outside world. Have you, like, a workshop almost, but every diagram I have of this place has no mention of a workshop in it. It doesn't say that it's even accessible if it even existed. Did y'all come across anything like that?
I glance at Quinlan, but I don't say anything.
Who is making me? And we lock eyes, and I just kind of cock my head and like that look to you. Should we tell him?
Insight
What?
check. Does this man want this workshop for evil means?
Why do you want to know? What are you looking for?
I fail.
Well, if such a workshop existed in this place, it would certainly help improve the tech back at Camden's Hall. We know that predecessor parts and technology have been known to improve current technology, if you will. Plus, it's good to have backup parts for maintenance of other things.
With a passive insight of 18,
Passive of 18?
passive of 18 insight, does that check out, or is he looking for something specific?
Pretty sincere, but he's holding back, like, one thing, you can tell. It seems like there's one thing that he might want that he isn't necessarily telling you about. He's dancing around something specific. But he is being truthful, and he's being sincere. Otherwise.
Adalbrecht, I don't really like you. So unless you give me a real reason that you want to find a room that we need to look around for, when we've already proven that it's pretty dangerous here, I'm gonna need a little more than that.
Okay, well, the initial briefing that Camden's Hall gave me is classified, but considering that you all have been acted as my rescue party, I suppose I could tell you. This location specifically, again, if the workshop is even, if there is even a workshop room here, it was rumored that they were working on a companion of sorts. Something that wasn't a human watchman, but could still accompany a predecessor into the lands surrounding this place. Said it could be described as like almost pet-like.
So you mean to take a known dangerous artifact out of here?
Well, when you put it that way, makes it sound a little bit.
How else should we put it?
I'm thinking back to my cards I drew for him again, and I'm like, I'm not telling him shit at this point.
Wasn't the
Well.
job just to get this guy out?
Yeah.
It was.
That is
The
our only
initial job was just to retrieve him.
We are not here, sir, to accompany you on your excavation. Instead, we are here to collect you.
Then I guess my
We're,
hands are
unless
tied.
you wish to pay us more.
He looks over to you, Sundial. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm a sorcerer. This is what I'm good at. 18.
18 total?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yes, 18.
He looks
Can
at
I-
you, and without breaking his glance at you, reaches down into one of his pouches, one of his pockets on his cloak, pulls out 5 gold pieces.
No.
Make another persuasion check at disadvantage.
At advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Can I shuffle my tarot deck to give inspiration this moment? Kind of trying to get in his head a little bit, remind him.
Using one of your
the
inspiration
reading.
points, or
Yeah, to
No.
give him, to give him my bardic inspiration.
oh, it's bardic inspiration.
Oh,
Oh,
cool. How much is that?
Is that something
it's a 1d8 to your roll for ability
Oh.
checks, attack rolls, or saving throws.
you would have to say something? I would say.
Okay, because normally like bards can use like their music to do
Their
it, but I'm not a
instruments?
music bard. I'm a
That's-
tarot reading bard.
Your
So my-
College of Lore, right?
Yes.
Okay, no, I would. That is a perfectly acceptable.
So
thing
I'm gonna
then,
like
yeah.
shuffle it and try to
Go for it.
flip out.
So you go from disadvantage to a straight roll.
Okay, cool. I got 21 this time.
21.
Yes. Like this person wants us to accompany him.
What the heck was that?
He's like, take me into another part of the dungeon that may be dangerous for 5 gold coins. What the fuck?
Right?
He like
Let's go back.
He,
in
like-
the
That was
place
my
where we
wife
almost
yelling at her
lost
dog
people.
barking
Reach-
outside.
he like reaches down into the pocket again and pulls out a coin purse instead of just 5 individual coins.
How much are we getting paid for this job? No, we're getting like
Put it
transportation.
in transport.
Oh.
You were promised like free transport, the possibility of membership in the guild for completing
Space
this.
sketch.
And you were offered a little bit of a monetary reward as well, if I remember correctly. I thought he offered you a monetary.
I thought we like
compensation.
persuaded for monetary too. I need to make better notes, you guys. It's been like months.
I do too.
Yeah, see, Allie doesn't care about money, so I did not keep notes on how much we were offered.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. So if you did this mission for them, they would give you transport to Squog, which is where you initially wanted to go, to figure out your stuff, and that you would be allowed to go there if you like completed this mission, and that they would send you back free of charge. They also said that you would become ipso facto members of the guild by completing this mission for them, because it's completing a guild mission. Like, so I think a monetary award was talked about, but only when the mission was complete. Right. So
Well,
he reaches back into his pocket, pulls out a coin purse instead of 5 individual coins.
is it a fat coin purse or is it like a little coin purse?
I'll say somewhere in between. Make an intelligence check whenever you're done talking to your family. All right, make an intelligence check.
Okay. I'm not proficient in it. Shavin.
Shavin.
Yes.
You know that there are some standard coin purse sizes? If this coin purse is full, could be about 30 or 40 gold pieces in it.
I don't feel like that's enough to go risk our fucking lives for whatever this guy wants.
Somebody make a history check.
If this is a history check to know if I mean over the table we've already been in this room.
You have already been in this.
Yeah.
You've already been to the
Like,
room that you
Quinlan
think
is-
he's.
Quinlan has his suspicion.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
Are we
I
wanting to
remember
take this deal?
specifically interacting with this dog.
yeah. You remember seeing the
13 on that
the
history?
automated hound. It's this. It's just you remember that inside of the room that you think he's talking about was the things that he described, including the automated hound, but the automated hound was not active, and you weren't entirely sure if there was a power cell in that room to activate it. And it doesn't look like he has a power cell on him. Plus, going back that way, you think you've cleared out all of the major dangers besides the possibility of activating that hound. Talking of danger in this context is almost, since he doesn't know, it's not lying, but it's also you're overselling how dangerous it would be for
I'm
them
gonna
to do
like
this.
look at everybody and like say, "Can give us a moment," and like round up. Let's fucking make this decision.
All right.
Okay.
Puts the
Quinlan
coin
comes
purse
over.
puts the coin purse back in his pocket and goes back to tuning up his weapons.
Okay.
Honing his weapons. That's the word I've been looking for this whole time. There we go.
So, do we want to take this guy on a wild goose chase or take him to this? What do you think we can get out of him? Because he's offering money. I'm not really talking like Sundial, but whatever. Zog always talks about how like you gotta get paid for at least some kind of work. So I don't know what money's worth.
I don't really have any care for money, nor do I care what they do with this thing when they get it out of here, but
The temple
I don't
doesn't
trust him.
have we don't do it for the money.
So the 3 money-averse members of the party are talking about whether to accept a bribe.
Like he's gonna have to.
Oh God!
'Cause
And
Quinlan
Willow
just
is
looks
pretty
at the
money-averse
two.
too. Willow has just
Yeah.
been kind of sitting back for this too.
Zog's the only one that like transactions money all the time.
Mhm.
Sundial just happens to have a lot of money
Mhm.
and will throw it around willy-nilly to get people things. But he's like, I don't know if this is a lot of money because I feel like I have more than this.
To Allie, this is a lot of money, but Allie doesn't keep money. She sends it off.
Right.
So.
Sundial, this is like nothing. This is like
Quinlan has seen his fair share of piles of gold. He doesn't give a shit. So he just kind of looks at the two of you, leans in.
Do we want a stick? Quinlan, do you want a stick? Do you want a cool stick? Because I see that he's got like a couple there.
Again, making the generous assumption that you are in kind of like a huddle pile surrounding each other and that he can't hear you talking about this.
Can we do like sleight of like whatever to be quiet?
You like give a quick peek?
I literally can look at him while I'm looking at them. I am a slime, okay?
Yeah. Taking a look at his figure, he's just kind of like standing there, arms crossed now. And like, I don't understand why this is such a hard decision. Like in his head, like not out loud, but like that's the vibe now.
Instead of taking him to the workshop, if we do this, perhaps we should just go and get the item and bring it back.
There is also the matter of suspicion that what we found, the orbs, may be truly what he is after.
The chest, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. That's why I'm saying maybe we shouldn't take it with us. He can't. He doesn't know where the workshop is. He can't come back to it.
How do we convince him not to go with us?
It's dangerous. He's injured.
He's a liability.
One of us is faster than a group.
All very good reasons being rattled off here. Which cool stick do we want?
Dippy, can we have a list of the cool sticks that he has, or what ones have we seen?
You have only seen the instant ladder and the heavy crossbow staff.
I would
see what I did there? A portmanteau of crossbow bow staff.
Yeah. I would say the crossbow staff might be of more use to us.
At this point, Adalbrecht kind of like speaks up and he's like, so what's the deal?
Do not make me break the other arm.
Oh,
make an intimidation check, please.
Allie loves that line. Trash does not.
Nat 20 for a total of 21.
Man,
I was like, this is gonna be a failure.
He looks at you.
Hey, baby.
And you can almost see like a bead of sweat immediately drip down one of his facial feathers. And he just like takes like 2 steps back away from the group of you.
Quinlan doesn't intimidate often, but when he does, it's effective.
So I have the ability to break your arm and then put it back in place.
I can break it. I can't put it back.
Wow.
If you paralyze him, I do have the ability to not fix that.
I don't know.
Incredible. So, continuing.
Okay.
Are we in agreement to ask for that?
Well, part of me wants to see what the other ones do.
The other one is.
How many sticks does he have?
From what I've seen.
Looking at him, you can count at least. You can count at least 5. You don't know if he's holding any more underneath any of his raiments.
I like turn around, look at him. It's like, what do your other sticks do?
Excuse me?
What are your sticks? You have one that becomes like this bow. The other one is. What did you say it did?
Ladder.
Ladder. What do your other sticks do?
How is this pertinent to this?
We may want to stick.
We're saying keep the gold. We have
Okay.
no use for it, but we'll take an item off of you.
Okay. He reaches into his cloak, pulls out one. Looks like this one is slightly like more like larger diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Taps a button on the side. It like opens, boonk, and it looks like there is a scroll inside of it.
Ah!
He pulls. It looks like there's a scroll inside of it. He pulls out the scroll, and he shows you. This is a scroll case.
Very
Puts
bright.
it back in his cloak. Goes underneath his cloak again. Pulls out another one, longer, smaller diameter. There's another button on it. Clicks the button. Let's go. It stays in place. Immovable rod.
Ah! All right.
Immovable rod. Standard fare, I guess. Clicks it. Puts it back in his cloak. Reaches behind him to the other longer pole on his back. I mean, this is literally just a quarterstaff. Pulls out the ladder one. Instant ladder. I mean, you weren't here to see that, but there's that
No,
for
but
you.
It's nice to see. Thank you.
Again. Then reaches down to his leg.
Oh!
Pulls a very thin. This rod is metallic, whereas all the other ones look like they've either been made of wood or like a leathery material, like wood wrapped in leather or whatever. This is a metallic rod. He trying to think of what this thing is because I gave it to him, but I don't remember what it is.
It's a pocket butt plug.
No.
That's three. That's three today. Box, rod,
Oh God.
Dono.
You never know when you're gonna get yourself in what situations you're gonna get into.
Oh, God.
I'm so sorry.
Oh Jesus. I love this party. I love this party. I love this party.
Hey.
So, anyway, clicks the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
A little writing end comes out of one side, and he pulls out a piece of paper, writes a message on it, and then you watch as the message disappears from the paper. Instant message pen. I mean, fairly
You just
simple. Again, standard fare.
So you write something down and it just disappears?
Give me just a second. He shows you, he writes down the word hello. Disappears. Couple seconds go by. Hello in a different handwriting appears on the paper. And then fades after 10 seconds.
Who's he talking to?
And it says hello question mark. like why is this person saying it? Like, he writes something else down on the paper and then puts the pad of paper and the pen back in his boot pocket. Okay. And then he reaches down to his other boot pocket.
Oh my God.
Pulls out another similar metallic rod. Again, slightly more rotund. Button. Boop, opens up. Inside are 3 marble-sized pieces. They kind of fit in. They kind of all fit in a triangle in his hand, and he like spins them around in his hand. And he's just like, I don't even know what these are. These just are like a nice little distraction for me.
Have you tried throwing one?
Picks one up. Pink. Pink, 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 pink. Nothing outstanding happens.
Nothing explosive.
Walks over, picks it up. Oh, shit. Got a scratch on it.
Oh.
Thanks. And he, like, puts puts all three of them back into the tube. Puts
You're
it back
the
in
one
the
who
tube.
Anytime.
threw it.
Huh?
You're the one that threw it.
And
Are
you're
you
the one
saying
who
things?
suggested it.
I did.
Is that like a kind of rock or something? The little marble, is it like a type of rock?
It's just like a toy?
No, like,
That's
Never
about the
mind.
material.
Oh, they're made of
Yeah.
glass.
oh, okay. Then I can't do anything about that. I don't have mending or anything. I was like, I could fix it.
Oh.
Maybe.
The offer is appreciated. Puts it back into his pocket. And then reaches underneath his cloak, pulls out one more case. It's another scroll case. Pops it open. There is no scroll inside this case, but shows you that it is an empty scroll case. One of you, and only one of you, make an investigation check when he does that.
I have a passive investigation of 17.
Passive investigation
I
17.
also have a
Yes.
17 passive investigation, and I only have a +2 to my
When
roll,
he
though,
shows
so-
you the inside of the case, you see something on the bottom of the case. Something inscribed on the bottom of the case.
is it in celestial or common?
It looks more specifically like a rune.
Ah,
Ooh.
He closes it, puts it back in his pocket, and he says, just another scroll case.
Can I identify the rune, being that I'm proficient within Arcana?
Not in the time that he shows it to you. It's a very quick flash.
Okay.
Unless you want to make an Arcana check, you can make an Arcana check
Yeah.
in the quick flash that he gives.
That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
yeah, I don't need to roll then.
Seems to be some kind of abjuration rune, but you can't
Abjuration.
immediately tell.
Abjuration is...
Defense.
Defense, okay.
Defense or healing.
Okay. Alright. I turn back around and do the huddle again. So.
I
know
would
about
prefer that you don't take my crossbow staff, because that's like my primary weapon. Like, that's like my pride and joy, so I would hate to have to make another one.
You're getting ahead of yourself. We still haven't decided if we're gonna go look for this room yet.
He like leans back against the wall, and when he does, you hear like wind chimes almost of all of the rods and sticks on his body making noise as he like moves,
We must have disadvantage on stealth.
and he just like puts his fingers to his head, and he's like. So, the group continues to chatter.
Okay. Any of those interest us? We don't have a... I don't know. Maybe we just mug them.
Passive insight.
Item.
Passive insight on the rune check and all of that nonsense. The way that he showed it to you, he might not know about the rune in the bottom of that spell case.
Okay.
That scroll case.
I don't really have any interest in those items, but I think we should take him for an item and some money. Zog would be upset if we didn't.
I say... Ooh. So we had the ladder, the bow and arrow, scroll case, a second scroll case.
A scroll case that had a scroll in it, a scroll case that
Pen?
didn't have a scroll in
The
it.
pen that I'm assuming only goes to one very specific person.
The instant
Yeah.
the instant messaging pen, the fidget toy, the literally just a quarterstaff, immovable rod,
I think the immovable rod would be good.
scroll case, immovable rod, ladder,
Would
crossbow,
make a good perch.
Yeah.
scroll case, immovable rod, crossbow, quarterstaff, pen, fidget.
Is that what he uses it for? the immovable rod to make a perch? So we can just sunbathe and sing?
Allie was thinking about a cat tree perch.
Oh,
That's why she said that.
okay.
It's
Take-
also
If you
good
give
for
you insight into
interrogation.
why Allie's saying things, I shouldn't be doing that.
Boy. Anyway,
All right. Let's do the immovable rod and like 30 gold, and we'll just take care of it like us.
Allie, perhaps you and I should go retrieve the canine and our case.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm pretty loaded right now with these watchman bodies in my pockets. I'm not going to be
Excuse me?
carrying. I'm not going to be carrying much more than I already
What
have.
do you have in your pockets?
I think she has a head, a left arm, like a right leg.
I have the watchman, the different parts of the watchman, the arms, the leg.
Kind of all loaded
The
into like different
It's
parts.
for a personal matter. I don't have very much
Are
strength.
you making yourself a husband?
No, I'm definitely not. I could stay with him and make sure he doesn't follow.
Or you could leave Willow with him.
Yeah, that's cool too.
I could also do that. But I'm at the limit of my carrying capacity.
Okay. Can you leave it with Willow?
There's no reason we couldn't both watch him.
Precisely my thoughts.
All right. I know Sundial has enough strength to be able to carry these, whatever it is that needs to be done. But yeah, so.
If you're coming
Fine.
back with a chest, we should make sure to comment that it's our loot.
Yeah,
So that he doesn't go snooping.
agreed.
Okay. We, I'll turn around and be like, we have a few things to pick up as well.
Dono, can you check and see if Fantasy is in the like waiting room or anything like that?
No, they are not.
Oh, okay. You
It tells
would
me-
just automatically know as soon as they
Yeah.
are. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Thought it would, but I am done. Should be home 20-ish minutes. Yeah. They're probably in traffic right now. Because it's rush hour and
So,
I'll turn around and be like, we'll do it for the immovable rod and 30 gold. You stay here because you're injured, and we'll go search. You've described to us what it's supposed to be, right?
I, to the best of my knowledge and ability, yes.
Fantastic. There's also things that we can.
But if I'm staying here, it's gonna be one or the other. I'm not. If I'm giving you that much, I'm going with you to make sure.
You would only be slowing down the people that we send.
Then let it be slow. I would go with you to confirm otherwise.
Fine.
I will stay here, but only for one or the other, not both.
Fine. We'll get the rod.
Knock yourselves out. He pulls the immovable rod out of his cloak, tosses it over to Allie. Catch.
Do I need to roll, or do I just?
No, you just catch.
I immediately hand it off to Sundial.
Fantastic.
You may add an immovable rod to your inventory.
Fantastic. I will do that. This man has paid us before we did the job, so we could just leave.
Wait, we have to bring him back with us. That's
Yeah,
the reason we're
That's
here.
the
We can't just
whole
leave
mission
him.
is you're bringing him back with you.
Unless we want to lie and say he's dead, which at this point it would be kind of a bad idea.
We could just.
According to my notes, they didn't say dead or alive. They didn't specify.
You're gonna push the boundaries of Allie's alignment. That one, that's
That would push the bounds of Quinlan's, but
I mean,
Woo.
Willow might just fucking kill him just to have his body.
Willow's alignment isn't that egregious, I don't think.
They're also Fae, but you know.
I mean, Willow is also a fairy, so.
Yep.
Allie is firmly chaotic neutral, but there's no motivation to kill this man at this point.
Yeah.
For Allie,
Alright.
at least.
We're
So he
leaving-
tosses the immovable rod and he goes over to the steps and he just sits and
Okay.
he looks up to you and says, "Again, it's like it should look like an automated companion, maybe a dog of some kind.
Fantastic.
If
All right.
if
And there is
if you
nothing
find
else.
it, look for should be a tube about yay big around. If the tube has if the tube is emitting a light, you could maybe place it inside the hound and you could maybe place it inside, activate it. I don't know. Again, I was only told to look for it, and if it was there and I could bring it back to bring it back. It's up to you."
Okay. Let's
And he just sits.
I look to Quinlan. Shake. Wiggle my head. Jiggle it a bit.
His head don't jiggle, it folds.
Fucking.
Old.
I forget. No, my eye, like the things that are like my eyeballs just go.
Oh my gosh.
And my tiny little rotund body goes.
Just goes waddling on. Now, Sundial, you did not get to see this workshop. So you would have to follow Quinlan.
Okay.
And Quinlan, you know exactly how to get back. So, I will
Yep.
allow you to do so.
I'll lead him back. And
As a little bit of time passes. You pass back by the firing range and you see Zog has moved from pondering behind the firing line to pondering at the edge of the hole.
Hi, Zog.
Oh, hey,
don't
buddy.
fall in.
When was the last time I fell in? Come on.
2 weeks ago.
I'm better than that. We don't talk about that. So,
I hear the lady was really nice though.
he just goes back to looking in. He just goes back to looking into the. Wow. We got boxes and rods and sticks and balls and holes, everybody.
Oh, so we're up to 6. All right. We need to keep a dirty dono count.
Oh God.
It's a shame it's not dragon shots.
It's incredible.
We need to do another one of those. Hell, we could do that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So, you all head back to the workshop.
Yep.
You open the door. You go inside. Nothing has changed since you last left it. Sitting in the corner, a automated hound, unactivated, and festooning every surface of this workshop, spare parts, random cogs and springs and tools and pegboards and rivets and nails and hardware and even some bits of like just scrap iron sitting in the corner as like random material. But this place is much more organized than all of the other destroyed places because this place has gone mostly untouched. There are, against the main wall as you walk in, there is a large, very large chest of drawers that, like, you didn't really pilfer through any of the drawers last time you were in the workshop. But, yeah, Tessa would be in heaven right now. That is a very good point. We love you so much, Gear. We miss you. I'm glad we're happy for your Wednesday show though. I'm glad that's going as well as it is. So all of this, and you go to the corner for the automated hound, and you see that it is indeed unactivated. There is no power cell or power core in a fairly obvious opening on the back.
Where does the battery go in?
There is a hole, same diameter as how Adalbrecht described it.
Okay.
Where is said hole located?
Like on the back between where the shoulder blades would be.
Okay, cool. Okay. Can we look around for how big is this damn thing?
The dog?
Immediately, Quinlan is pilfering the drawers, by the way.
All right. You may rifle through the drawers. Typical men can't find. Oh boy.
Gotta make sure that Dippy didn't make another mistake about where he put his hole.
7. So did you roll a check or are you just pilfering?
I will roll for investigation.
Oh, if you didn't roll, you don't have to. I'll just tell you
Okay.
what's in each drawer. So you're like
go for it.
washers, bolts, nuts, screwdrivers, tools, and an assorted filigree of that kind of thing as you open more and more drawers.
Toolbox.
A couple of them are completely empty. A couple of the drawers are completely empty.
Yep, that's a standard toolbox, all right.
Yeah. You open up one and there's just like a lot of paper just lying in it. The top sheet of the paper looks like a work order.
Anything interesting about it?
You pick it up and read it. It looks like this workshop specifically called for the repair of the quote, the repair of a clockwork inquisitor.
Can I
More details to follow.
Can I look at this thing and like vibe with it like I did the engine on the boat?
It is not on, so you cannot vibe with it.
Damn it. And I don't have any like lightning type spells.
It's not on, so it can't vibe. 8. No. I don't believe you do. Oh, look at this stuff. Isn't it?
Then can I? Is it like rusted over in any way, or is it
No,
like,
this one looks like untouched. Looks
Okay.
fairly pristine.
So
Other
Can
than
I-
other than maybe a little bit of dust, but
can I like slap myself onto the machine and like morph myself to the gears and make it move?
is there anything in the racial description of plasmoid that says that you can do that?
I can shape and shift my body. Besides, as long as there's like within an inch diameter, I can go through things. Which, if this is a clockwork thing, it's probably got like massive gaps and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, like, with my strength, I could probably like.
2 things. What is your strength score?
It's 18.
Holy shit. Okay. And for another thing, you have itched a spot of my brain that really needed a scratch, or rather, flip that around. First and foremost, make a dexterity check for me.
All right.
See if you can even squeeze yourself into the space and shape yourself to the space.
I feel like Sundial is not quite like used to his form and just kind of goes puddle because I rolled a 3.
3. You kind of like lay yourself across the top of this dog and you just kind of like, all right, now shift, and you just fall to the floor into like a puddle.
Yeah. Like,
coating the top layer of this dog in
I
just
am
sundial
not
slime.
proficient within form change.
And I just whip my head around.
And you just see a puddle of green sundial goo on the floor.
Split in 2. Come back together.
Yeah, you just kind of like
A
reform.
good effort. Are there any other like drawers or anything in the workspace?
Rifling through the last of the drawers, you open up one and you see the tubes that he described, but none of them are lit. None of them are like charged, to put it plainly.
None of them got their party on the.
None of them got that party on lock. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't lit, bro. They ain't vibrant.
Is there a charging station nearby?
Make an investigation check.
Yes. Ooh. I think, yeah, okay, so one higher than I thought, 17.
That's just gonna be there for a little bit. 17. So I'm really afraid that's gonna fall on me when I'm not expecting it. I'm gonna sit over here. So 17. Looks like you look around and you're kind of like looking for anything that's like the same diameter, right? And you just kind of like see a couple of things in that vein, and and you see a couple of things in that vein, and you kind of like take one of the tubes and you like, it like fits in, but it's just a mounting bracket. Again, just a mounting bracket, or like this would just be like something that you put around it. You do this with another object that's sitting on the surface of the workbench, and you like stick it in, and you see a spark and like a tiny glimmer of light begin to emanate from the inside of this tube. It is very small.
So I thought chromatic orb, you had to roll to see what damage it is. No, you get to choose it. So I do have another lightning spell that does 3d8.
You do?
Could I use my chromatic orb to help charge or turn on this companion?
Your intuition says maybe, but probably not.
Could I... Ooh. Do I have... What are my... Okay. What are my...
Is the light growing at all?
Can I...
At the moment, no. Doesn't look like it.
So the light doesn't grow. Can I instead... What's the... So he has it like on a charger, right?
So this object... We'll call this one of the batteries for instance. He has set it into a carrier, and the carrier, it looks like it has spots on either side of the port for someone to place their hands.
Can I come over there and place my gelatinous hands, just my little tiny ones?
Yeah. And
Does it do it, and then form shapes into like actual fingers and see if it fits into what it requires?
Your hands mold to the handprints on this device, and nothing changes.
Okay, then I am going to, because this is probably dumb, I'm going to twin spell chromatic orb to have electricity go through my hands into this machine.
Okay, remind me how chromatic orb works.
So
because you also need a diamond for chromatic
I have
orb.
an orb that I broke myself out. Yeah,
that's fair enough. Okay, so using a part of your shattered orb, you build up a little mote of energy within you, and in the process, you cast twin spell, and and people watching. In this, well, that would be Quinlan. You watch as this mote splits into two and travels down Sundial's arms into his hands and into the machine, or and into his hands sitting on the machine. Chromatic orb, you have to roll a die to determine the damage type, right? No,
I can choose.
You can choose.
That's why I'm choosing to do this. Yes, because it says, sphere of energy, creature that you can see within range. You choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison.
Okay, so you're choosing lightning.
Do not, yeah. I thought you did as well, and until I read that, so.
Right. Okay, so. Oh, I'm thinking of a color, whatever it is.
Prismatic spray.
Prismatic spray, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. So, or color spray, prismatic, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Either way, chaos bolt, that's what it is, or
Yes.
chaos whatever it is. Okay, so getting off topic, I would have you roll damage, but because of the nature of how you're doing this, you watch as the chromatic orb lightning damage instantly is sucked from your hands, and you watch as the tube overloads and bursts.
Ooh.
I think
Do we
you
have
pumped
another one of those?
you pumped a little too much into that one.
Do we have another one of those?
Take
I
away the spell slot
grab-
if you haven't already.
Yes, I already.
I grab another one, tell him to move, and I
Tunk. No
place
spark.
my hand.
No spark. This one doesn't light up at all
Okay.
when you first set it down.
So, if he moves, I'm gonna place my hands down
Tunk.
and see if anything activates.
Dono,
Yes.
roll me an insight check.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Could I,
Mm-hmm.
because Air Genasi have a natural air wind that goes around them, but Quinlan has his repressed,
Hmm.
could I let that flow and accelerate it to create an electric static charge in the air around me?
I love the
focus.
thought. You are overcomplicating this just a little bit.
Of
I-
course
I
we are.
love the thought, but you are overcomplicating
Feels very
what I'm
much
going
like
for here.
there's a door in your
Dippy?
way.
I'm
It's-
going to use one of my inspiration points. Also, I'm going to finally use my cloak,
Mhm.
which gives me and I'm just going to do
Yes.
a plus, because I can do up to a +5, right?
Oh no, not up to. You either choose +5 or -5.
Okay, then I'm going to do +5 to my roll.
Okay.
So, like, it's +5 what I get? Or is it +5 to, like, what the difficulty
So if you
is?
add 5 and you succeed, then a lesser outcome is delivered. If you subtract 5 and you succeed, an enhanced outcome.
I will...
And you are using an
guess-
inspiration point.
Yes, I
Okay.
will use... I'll put a -1 to it, so I have a greater outcome.
So -5.
Yes. No. Oh, it's only -5.
You
or
can
not?
only do +5, -5. You can
Okay.
only do +5 or -5. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't do anything up to 5.
You know what?
It is,
Fuck it. I gotta use this cloak sometime. Okay.
Go for it.
It works. It fucking works. Thank God. I have a +4 on my roll with a -1
Right.
after I used the cloak, and I rolled a 19.
19.
I get 18 in total.
Okay. It's
Hoping
for
that's
your
enough.
insight.
Yes.
Okay. So an enhanced outcome, eh?
Yes.
Flashback. In a tiny in a moment of remembrance to a time long past, you get a vision in your own head. This is the enhanced outcome. You get a vision in your own head of being not yourself, but like beings like you standing in a laboratory of sorts. And working with technology similar to this. And you place like into your memory this charger and this like power cell, and you realize that magical energy stored in a power cell in this way is enough to power machinery for a long time when it is active. So, you were going the right direction with casting Chromatic Orb, but the level of what level Chromatic Orb you cast, you're muted. You're muted?
It is a level 1, but it does 3d8 damage.
So you
and I
twinned
it. Yeah.
So 2 spell levels being cast into this battery was too much. Was way too much. You feel like if you placed your hand, you feel like if you were to concentrate and cast a cantrip, just one cantrip into this charging port, that it would charge the battery to full.
I'm going to put my hand on it and cast Firebolt.
Firebolt. You watch as the orange energy travels down Sundial's arm, gets absorbed into the pad, the battery sits, and it just fills up with an orange light. And you disconnect it. You now have a full power cell.
Can I don't have a tongue, but can I lick it?
The outside of the power cell?
I want to just taste it. I guess, see if it does anything.
Metallic. A little dusty. Then again, you only just recently gained your mouth and tongue. You don't know what metallic necessarily tastes like. It's a weird sensation. Fun, but weird. You don't feel like you want to do it again.
How many charges do I have of this thing? Gains 1 charge every day.
Oh, do you start with?
Yes.
On the cloak? 5.
Okay.
Oh, also, Quinlan.
Do either of you have prestidigitation?
Yes.
You should just use that.
When Quinlan, when
Yes.
Sundial placed his hand, you watched his cloak billow slightly, and you watched as some of the stars in the sky on the inside of the cloak disappeared. A visual indicator of how charged the cloak is.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna take the battery, and then we have another one, right? Like, how many do we got?
You burst one and you just filled another one. You looking in the drawer, you see one more.
Okay, I'm gonna take that other one, and just in case, use and I'm gonna have Quinlan actually, like, you know, pocket this one, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation this time to see if it changes.
Prestidigitation. Just for shits and giggles, what effect would you like to create with prestidigitation if you weren't in this exact situation?
I've usually used prestidigitation to clean things, so his mindset would be to clean.
Okay. The energy flows through your arm into the device. You watch as the battery fills up with a blue light. Blue for clean water.
Nice. I'm going to then give this to Quinlan and be like, we
Oh,
should
and-
have one.
On the inside, it looks like the inside is filled with soap bubbles.
Huh. We should keep this one to ourselves in case we run into something that we may want to use it on eventually. Because I
Agreed.
am, and I will be like, I seem to be connected to the forebears, is what? No.
The
what are they called?
predecessors.
Predecessors. So we may be coming in contact with such things again. Or at least I will. So I hand it to Quinlan, because I'm see-through. He's not. I don't hide things well.
And I'm very good at hiding.
You
things.
see,
Yes, so I hand it to Quinlan.
you see a couple of daggers, a magnifying glass, a set of thieves' tools, a clock, a silver ring, just floating around inside of Sundial.
The silver ring is for, like, it just goes over the
Oh yeah, the
hand.
silver ring goes
Keep
on the
it
hand.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just a little guy. He's like,
He's just a
bringing
small
over,
little
like, a big
guy.
old fucking- I can get real big. I'm just a little guy right now.
I'll say you can only shrink down so much because
Yeah.
your mass is like finite, but
I
you
can
can like
go
expand.
too
and, like,
small, but like
Yeah.
still move in medium.
yeah. You can go to the boundary of small.
Yes.
You would be a fat little boy.
That I am.
But Quinlan, you receive a power cell.
Into the pack it goes. hidden in the middle.
You may add a full power cell to your inventory.
Yep.
And then we're gonna put this other one that we have in the
You walk over.
companion animal. Does this little companion animal have a vest on it that says companion animal?
No.
No. Dang it.
There is a
Working boy.
marking.
That's a missing.
There is a marking on the back of its head.
Security?
There is a marking on the back of its head that in common reads K8.
I want an artificer that literally that goes into like into the subclass that has the companion animal that like it's their actual like companion animal and helps them through like anxiety and
That
stuff.
would be so nice.
Oh, okay.
Really a missed opportunity.
You insert the power cell. You hear it seals, and you hear and the unwinding of sprockets and gears. And you watch a light travel across the front of its face like a visor. And it creates a line that opens up, and 2 diodes on the visor that simulate eyes light up.
Hello.
It like stands up, adjusts itself, looks up to you, Sundial, and just like, oh, just a little bark.
I let my cat come out and
Looks between Mosaic and you. Mosaic.
I look at Mosaic. It's like, you're in charge of this, and just puts her on top of his head.
You watch as some of the slime just kind of like drips down the side of this hound's head, and it just, the diodes kind of like cross and look up and Mosaic is just like and the hound just like
Fucking villager.
and we'll take a pause there and go back to Adalbrecht and Allie.
We do have one about to join us.
Okay, is Fantasy coming?
Fantasy is joining us.
We should take a 5
Yeah.
minute break right now.
Let's take that break
5
now.
minute.
5
Let's
minutes.
take
Don't
the
go
5
anywhere.
minute-
We'll be right back with
Everybody
more.
drink some water while you're on break, because we gotta hydrate.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more In-Quy'zz-ition after this break.
Lobby.
Hello again,
Hello.
and welcome. Fantasy is here,
Hello.
joining us now for the latter half of the episode. So
Better late than never.
exactly, just in time for the second half of the RP interaction that we've had. So just to catch you up to speed a little bit, Fantasy. Willow has followed Quinlan and Allie to meet up with Sundial again to like just kind of wait for Zog, because Zog was pondering going down the second hole, but Zog is not here to corroborate that. So we're kind of just taking this as another RP session of sorts.
He's pondering the void.
And Adalbrecht, Hunter Adalbrecht, asked y'all about the workshop with a clockwork hound in it. And there was some discussion was had. Adalbrecht showed off the rest of his sticks to the party. There were 2 spell cases. His original crossbow, the ladder, and a movable rod, a instant messaging pen, a set of fidget toys, and literally just a quarterstaff.
We are also not telling him that we know where the lab is and that we went off to go do the searching for it.
Because in his discussion of it, Adalbrecht seemed to not be entirely sure whether the workshop was a place that even existed in this. So they negotiated for Adalbrecht to give the party the immovable rod, while Sundial and Quinlan went off to... Oh, crap. Quinlan's in the wrong place.
What?
There we go. There we go. I got him in the
I'm
right
at
place.
top.
Yeah, there you go. I moved you back.
Aww.
Aw. So, you're not deadly. So, they went off to the workshop, and you and Allie have stayed behind with Adalbrecht to keep watch of him.
We're bird watching.
You're bird watching.
That was so good.
Sundial and Quinlan can each take an inspiration point for activating the Clockwork Hound. Allie, just for that pun and the other things throughout
All
the
my
session,
puns today.
I'll give you an inspiration point for the RP contributions you have made up to this point.
I'll take that.
That was the
I'll add
thing. That
to
was
my
the straw. That was the straw that pushed you over the edge.
Normally I make the comments that allude to Allie cat personality, but I don't expand upon them, but nobody seems to get them, so I started expanding upon them because people seem
also
to go.
one thing
We love it.
one thing that you didn't say, Dippy, Sundial now has a trash can thing.
Oh yeah, Sundial is carrying. Sundial has a little bin that he carries around with him that he can fit inside. Basically,
Also, he has real bad body dysmorphia, so he's just like a little guy right now. And he's just like, I don't
he's
know.
just a small little guy.
I'm just a small little guy with a knife. And a
So,
cloak.
Allie and Willow. You are both sitting with Adalbrecht at this point, and Adalbrecht has kind of just sat at the base of the stairs and is not really he hasn't been talkative unless he's been talked to up to this point, but now he's especially more reserved than he was, because he was interrogated for what he believes is not he was interrogated for what he believes was not that big of a deal. But
I, in front of him, pull out I have this booklet that I keep all of my tarot cards in, and notes on them where I got them from, or if they've been lost. And I flip open to the Empress of Chains page, the one that was burned up in the fire from Adalbrecht's reading. And I'm very obvious that I'm copying that image onto a new blank card that I have.
In a way that he can see the card on the
Absolutely.
page? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
With its notes on representing somebody of power being changed to something that's holding them back, and
So you're
as I'm
you're trying to
inscribing
get
the
him you're
card.
trying to get him to look, and
I'm just giving him a reminder of a conversation we had earlier.
right.
Because although I don't like this man, The
He,
fact
like-
that he rejects the reading makes me even more certain that that is the reading for him.
He looks over to the booklet in his innate curiosity. And he kind of like
Curious.
leans over to like get a better look at the picture and the notes in the booklet.
Would you like to see? Now
He's
with
just
this
reading.
power-
He's just reading the notes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
so
literally have notes.
not. This is like my actual notes.
Oh,
but I
that's
was
your
just using
notes
it as a
book,
prompt.
right? Right.
But
And
I mean,
he just,
actually,
like-
I do have the notes. I actually do. If you would like to see it,
That would help me out a little bit, at least.
see if I can find the page. Give me a second.
Mhm.
There's over 100 and there's almost 200 cards in this deck. So
Oh my goodness.
it's a big old boy. Ah, there it is. It's a lot. A lot of text.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I
Would
can't
you like
even
me
read
to-
that. I can't
Would you
even
like
read
me
that.
to? The notes say, "Oh, the mother." Sometimes that's a role I really don't get. Maybe it's just me. Those who see, but those chains as the baby's legs. Sometimes we become caretakers for others. Sometimes out of necessity. Other times because we think we should. Often we chain ourselves to that thing we take care of. Sometimes we need to take care of things we feel we can accomplish. But we're also making that thing need us. And then there's a little bit more, but that's like
Right.
the gist of what the text is.
A look of recognition comes across his face as if to say, oh, now he gets it, but in a way that you weren't expecting him to, like, not tied to your conversation at all.
I continue after I like turning the book so you can see it. I continue to describe the image down on the new tarot card so I can re-add it to my deck.
Yeah. He leans away. And he says, do you really believe in all that stuff? Or do you just use it on people?
I was once told by a teller of fortunes that my sister would become a great knight, and my other sister would find herself in royalty. Both of those came true. And my fortune, well, still searching for it. So yes, I do believe in it. But I also do believe that sometimes cards can tell you things you already know, regardless of their meaning.
He nods. Well, certainly hope that that doesn't say anything about any trails off. Kind of looks off into the distance, goes back to, closes up his crossbow staff, just places it on his back, and then just puts his hands together and starts to, like, twiddle his thumbs.
I think my friend can attest to readings that I've done in the past.
Yes. They're more accurate than you know.
I appreciate that. I do try.
And it's kind of freaky how ah! So yeah.
Just kind of 1,000 yards staring off in a new direction.
Broken this man mentally.
What do you see with your bird and eyes?
My wife and kids.
That's nice.
Back in I need to pull up my sheet with town names. Hold on. Woohoo! My wife and kids back in. How do I wrote this. How do I even pronounce that?
Good
You
question.
just love when you do that to yourself.
Kitsch. Kitch apostrophe tch. Kitch.
Google Translate. The best way.
Burgundy. Burgundy.
That's funny.
But he pipes up. My wife and kids. Back in Kitch. Missing me.
Well, we'll just get you back. We all gotta get out of here anyways.
Of course.
No. Alive. Who knows? Dead? Who knows?
The exit is right here. I mean, I could just go.
You could, but you haven't.
He looks down at his broken wing. Just kind of lays back.
Better to be safer.
Cutting back to Quinlan and Dono. Quinlan and Sundial. At this point, y'all are just making your way out of the workshop, yes?
Yeah.
Then you will meet back up with the group. You look over to Zog as you pass through the firing line again, and you see that instead of standing over the hole, now Zog is like squatting at the edge of the hole, like looking down into it, just like not the other direction. Squatting so his face is looking down into the hole. That's 9. And he just like...
While we're passing this way, I'll look at Sundial.
Mm-hmm.
Did we want to grab our chest while we're at it?
And you watch as the dog is now like just following behind y'all. Just keeping pace. Not running off anywhere, just, you know.
I don't know. Those orbs seem kind of
Gems.
evil.
Yes. And Zog did also make a big fuss about remembering to grab them. However, I don't trust Bird Boy.
Neither do I.
He's got magpie energy, and I don't trust that.
What is a magpie?
Tis a form of bird that just takes what doesn't belong to them because it is pretty and shiny.
Ah, grave robbers.
Yes.
Quinlan, an inspiration point for that interaction. Very nice.
Perhaps if we can have a couple of us stay behind and meet them. But that is if we have to. And he looks over at Zog.
Mm-hmm.
Have to contend with Mon Capitan and his desires to bring it with. I'm fine leaving it where it was.
I say we act like we forgot it.
Agreed. It is seldom one meets one of a similar mind.
Yeah. Also, just don't like those things.
Yes, I noticed you all had such a reaction to them. I didn't feel anything myself. But
I met somebody in there that tried to basically take my soul or switch my body out with theirs. So I don't know if they could have controlled mine. I'm having a hard time sometimes controlling it myself.
I understand that all too well. Well, let's get back to them, and if we have to drag Zog out of here, he seems to be obsessed with that hole, but afraid of it at the same time.
It's not like him being afraid of a hole.
One with his temperament often doesn't think before they dive in where they don't belong.
Yeah, he's usually drunk.
And it's at that moment that it kind of clicks what you meant, and he just and just starts walking, uncomfortable with the energy that's been created here.
Starts to walk away.
I
Incredible.
love that Sundial's like young, but also like fucking just makes totally terrible jokes. But like probably doesn't get it all the way, but Zog's kind of tried to explain it. So
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
definitely. You're in that camp of like, I get it, I don't get it.
But I get it, but I don't.
I get
Yes.
that it's funny and that making comments like gets people reacted, whatever, or like I don't know if he
Zog.
thinks it's funny. He just likes doing it.
Zog kind of like stands up, turns around, looks to you, Sundial. Hey, is there any chance that we're gonna like get in here, or
I would rather.
you know what?
us-
Never mind. I'll just follow you. And he steps away, walks back towards the firing line, goes to the door.
Thank you for that talk earlier, by the way.
No problem, buddy. You're worth it. And he, like, passes through the reception, and he's like, oh, we gotta go and, grab the chest.
And it's at that Quinlan turns around and goes, due to recent developments, it is best that we leave it. If we need to come back for it at a later time, we should do so.
We trust the
Recent
guy that
developments.
I don't really know if I trust the guy that we're working with.
Walking back up
You don't trust Bird Guy?
indicates
I don't know.
No.
Seems pretty cool to me.
he has
Referencing a moment from last session.
He has an underlying energy that I do not trust at all.
All right, but I wouldn't say that to him.
We don't.
Oh no,
plan
of
on
course not. Which is why we're saying it now while he's out of earshot.
Kind of like looks behind you through the threshold, and you see just maybe 50 feet away from where y'all are standing, sitting on the bottom of the steps, Adalbrecht, kind of like his head glances over in the direction of the threshold of the door, but not in a way of like, oh, he heard you, just like,
He could probably hear the
He
machine.
hears
Just
voices.
yeah, and and it's to look up and see. Dadley is having tech problems? Oh, no. Different. Dad. Right.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry. Reading the Zoom chat out loud.
Keep it to
My
yourself. damn
apologies.
it.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. So,
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
anyway, keep it secret. Anyway, the robot hound, the clockwork hound, kind of steps beyond and sits in front of Sundial and Quinlan, looking towards Adalbrecht, and Adalbrecht is like, huh,
Found it.
evidently you did.
And I turn and I just kind of give the dog pets and scritches.
I asked her, Mosaic, come back.
The
in my
dog
form.
does not react because it is a clockwork machine.
It is emotionless, and you're terrible for that.
Kind of looks, and you're terrible. He kind of like, Adalbrecht kind of stands up, walks over to it, and just like leans down, looks, eyes look into like face, and the dog just kind of like looks at it, motionless, just. Adalbrecht looks at it. It's bigger than I thought it would be. Well,
So
I certainly appreciate you going and getting it. If its battery holds out long enough, we can just as easily take it back with us. Thank you. Truly, thank you.
You didn't go collect the other loot?
We have it, just can't see it.
Okay.
Allie, what was that meant to reference to them specifically?
The chest of
The chest with the
because Allie
crystals.
also has interest in the chest of crystals.
Right. Okay.
It's one of her curiosities right now.
Adalbrecht
Yes.
looks
But
over
she's
to
not going to push the issue.
Adalbrecht looks over to Allie. Other loot?
We found some trinkets on the way in. I open my bag and show like the head of the clockwork that I'm carrying.
Whoa!
I just like to collect things. So they got them for me. I trust them.
Good to know.
And I close my bag.
Yeah, I feel like this place isn't going anywhere if you need to come back and collect some trinkets.
Yeah.
For now, though, like, we do need to start making our egress. And he kind of, like, replaces items and objects on his body in the places where they needed to be. And he just kind of stands ready to walk out of the front door, at the very least. And he turns and says,
East?
well,
I'm sorry.
who among you has the thing? I don't remember what it is.
Are you talking about the symbol?
Yes.
His thing, the coin on a chain, or
Yes.
on a rope. I do.
Ah, well,
I've had it like hooked to my waist this whole time.
the token of Camden's Hall.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as we step out into the open air, we should be able to use that to go straight back.
Well, in that case, one moment. And I turn to,
The party.
Mhm.
yeah, R2 that we're in the huddle, like present for the huddle.
So Allie and
Yeah.
so Quinlan, you turn to Sundial and
Sundial
Allie.
and Allie.
Mhm.
Yes, names went out of my head for a moment. And step to the side and motion for them, and then give the point to Willow
Mhm.
with the you watch him at Bird Boy.
The excitement though.
She's always ready to hurt somebody, and that's just great.
Incredible.
Is concerned.
Sundial's not.
Sure.
And I lean into Allie and I just say, If we have the opportunity to leave from here right now, I don't know that we'll have an opportunity between here and where we wanted to go for you to come back for the stuff. So, how big was the box again?
The chest itself,
Yeah.
the chest itself was a large, heavy chest.
So it wouldn't be able to fit in Dono's trash can.
No, it would not.
Okay.
It would require at the high end, maybe Sundial could hold it by himself, but it would be very big and obvious. So even if it was Dono holding it by himself, even if it was two other members of the party holding each end of it, it would be obvious if you went and got it.
And I do not have enlarge reduce to help us, but I don't think that lasts long enough for it to make a difference.
No.
I have it.
Oh.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the weight.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Might be able to send Willow for it and have her deposit it in either Quinlan or Zog's pack.
We don't have to take it. I just told one of them I would take them home. It wouldn't be the first promise I broke.
Ooh, what a line.
Which oath breaking is something I try to avoid.
To be fair, Eurydice is probably not in a mental state to remember the promise in the first place.
That is sad.
I have no problem breaking an oath. We can leave it. We know where it is if we ever have to come back.
Very well.
We haven't broken it till we die. Wait, what was the oath again?
I promise to take his crystal home.
Okay. Yeah, the promise, the oath hasn't been broken until we die. It's open and
No.
vague.
That
Let
is
us
very
not
good point.
perish.
Then perish.
And let us not perish. All right. Loudly. All right, we're good. Let's go.
Up the
Great.
stairs.
So, the token, if I may. He grabs it,
Zog.
pulls it taut, with one end, with the token in one hand and the end of the chain in the other, and he puts it straight out in front of him. I'll do it this way so that it, but he puts it straight out in front of him, and he starts swirling it around in a circle in front of him, and you watch as sparks begin to fly off of the token, and created in the process of him spinning the token in front of him is what appears to be a portal of some kind.
Nice.
And as he begins to twirl it, as he continues to twirl it, he says, "The rest of you go through. I will go through last."
First step through.
All right.
Can I just like?
Did you cannonball through the portal?
Yeah, I'm
Willow.
just a little guy.
Yeah,
with, like,
just a
arms.
small
I
little guy.
Yeah.
Zog follows in after Sundial. Willow flies through Quinlan.
Yep. I'm gonna go through one hand on my lower back and the other one on my rope dart because again, don't trust this guy. It could be a trap.
When we go through, this is afterwards or whatever, whenever he comes through, I want to give, we can do this afterwards.
Yeah. The Hound follows Quinlan through. Or no, sorry, the Hound follows Sundial through.
Yay.
Uh,
Do I have another pet?
That's just this campaign. It's pets.
I don't need a pet. I am a pet.
Is that anybody? Was that anybody else? There, I think that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Besides
All
him.
right. So, besides him, and he continues to spin until everyone steps through, and then he whips the token back, tosses it through the portal, and follows after the token, and you watch as the portal closes behind him as he jumps through.
There's got to be a better way of doing that than just you jumping through and almost dying. Because what happens if that closes on you while you're like halfway through? I'm literally saying this to him.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a complex thought right now, just like that.
He like looks to you and he says like, it's the best one-way transportation we've been able to come up with so far.
It's bad magic.
Well, we haven't had too many problems with it. I had to use yours because I accidentally tossed mine through without following it through.
Fine.
You have a point. Maybe I'll talk to Abernathy about it. Anyway, shall we? And he like opens a door that is against a wall in this room, and it opens up to reveal the bar and the patrons of Camden Hall. The main frontal area with the long bar and, as previously described, and the trinkets and stuff kind of hanging off the ceiling and against the back wall. The bar, tenders tending to the patrons at the bar itself. This appears to be like a little side room, like a broom closet almost.
Okay.
As he opens the door. Are you stopping him before he opens the door?
No, I'm because I'm thinking meta instead of Sundial's like actual thing, because you wouldn't think of like what will people react to me that for, you know?
Oh.
Like, I'm a little slime boy.
You're just a little slime boy.
Guy. I don't know.
Little slime guy.
He's genderless.
He's
honestly.
just a slimy guy.
It's B-O-I.
Boy,
The
B-O-I.
gender neutral version of boy.
Boy.
Thing. That's horrible.
No.
Oof.
Exactly. All right. So, as he opens the door, he kind of like steps out into the tavern. A couple of people like turn, and one of them loudly proclaims, "Hey, look! Adalbrecht's back!" And the rest of the crowd, I didn't save the tavern sound pad. Why did I not do that? Hold on. Here we go. I'll bring it up.
We're gonna go to a 1 minute break for that.
No, I got it. Is there really not any cheers?
Hey!
Why are there not cheers? Oh.
We got-
Oh, there they are.
Adalbrecht!
Yeah, hold on. There you go. I got it. The rest of the patrons at the bar cheer, and a couple of people clap at his re-arrival into the bar, and there's celebrations to be had. He goes over, and Adalbrecht himself goes over to one specific table with a couple of people sitting at it, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you're back. What happened, man?" And Adalbrecht is just like, "Oh, long story," and points down to his wing. He's like, "Oh my god." Just an idle chatter begins to pick back up again. Adalbrecht leaves the table and says, "I have to go check back in with the boss, obviously." He's like, "Oh, of course, we'll be right here, man." And he walks back to your group. He's like, "Shall we?"
What?
Yes, let's.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you, because he knows this place much better. He leads you back over to the back wall next to the bar, where it looks like an empty space at the moment, but he like kind of taps against it, and you watch as the wall like raises up, and standing there in his full glory once again is Abernathy. and he looks and he says, "Ah, my dear friend Adalbrecht, you have returned to us. Oh, I'm so pleased. Come here, good boy, come here." And he like grabs his other wing and like gives him the hug and the handshake, and he's like, "Oh, my dear goodness, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that your wing was broken there. Well, seems now more obvious than ever why you did not return to us as quickly as you could." And Adalbrecht is like, "Yeah, that and your token thingy didn't work again." It's like, "What? Oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. We really have to work on the spells for those. Ah, my new friends, welcome back. Good to see you again. Good to see you." And I see that you have returned, my compatriot here, in well-fitting fashion. Come in, come in. And he gestures you all to step back into the back room where you previously were.
Quinlan is going to be the last to go through.
I'm wondering why they haven't pointed out the fucking giant mechanical dog.
I'll be the first one in.
Or the slime person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like hooded and stuff right now.
He like,
Okay.
I'm just like,
we're getting to that. We're getting to that. So he gestures everyone into the back room, and getting lost in the crowd of things, you know, are Sundial in his slime form and the dog that has appeared in this place. As everyone steps kind of back into the back room once again, the lounge with the bookshelves and the fireplace and the desk and the chairs, as previously described. Abernathy kind of turns and says, "So, what good news do you bring from your scouting venture, Adalbrecht?" And Adalbrecht kind of turns to Abernathy and is like, "Oh, well, as we previously discussed, along with the help of these fellows here, we were able to locate the clockwork compatriot. I believe this version is a hound, and the dog kind of like steps up and alongside Adalbrecht, and Abernathy kind of looks over. "Well, aren't you fascinating?" And he like bends down, gives him a good look over, kind of like a little tap against the jaw. Ding, ding. Sturdy construction. Totally self-powered. He kind of looks onto the back. Yes, this will be quite helpful indeed. Well, many thanks and congratulations to you for retrieving not only our compatriot, but a new scouting aid for Camden's Hall. He will certainly be put to good use. And I hope you did not find it too difficult in your travels.
his name's Bobot.
We could handle it.
His name is, what did you say, Sundial?
Bobot.
Bobot?
Yes. Like robot, but it's a B.
Like robot with a
Or
B?
Boofer.
God.
Yeah.
Boofer.
Or Bob Art.
And he's just like,
Bot.
Yes.
we'll take that
We
into
were
note.
able to handle it, and even death was temporary.
Well, suffice to say, I believe I chose the right people for the job. Thank you again. And, of course, our end of the bargain shall be upheld as always. You are free to use, our teleportation circles whenever you like. Camden's Hall has a couple of locations across Quy'zz, and, even across, Fergon has a couple of locations as well. Please, feel free. You are more than accepted into our little cadre of members and family. I would be proud to call you my brethren and sisters.
Can I have a book of the teleportation circles?
We kind of have to keep those in the locations. can write them down for you if you'd like. And he kind of trots over to his desk and he sits down with a quill and paper, and I'm actually going to write this down too. Mm-hmm. And he begins to chat as he's writing. So, any other interesting things in your travels, Adalbrecht? And Adalbrecht kind of stands over his desk, and he's like, oh, other than the facility itself being mostly picked over from being public, everything seemed to be in order, ruinous even. Oh, really? I was sure that number 057 had not quite been picked over by the looters and ravagers as much as the others had. It hadn't, but it's still relatively, well, for lack of a better way to put it, picked over. It had mostly been emptied out when I had gotten there. I can't speak for the people who rescued me, but I only found a couple of things. And he whips a pack off of his back with the one hand, and Abernathy's just like, no, set it down there for now. Set it down. I'll look over that here in a little bit. Actually need to look. So, as this is happening, is anybody saying anything else? Doing anything else?
I am gonna go to Zog, who's not here currently, and hand him my new place of rest. Like, can you wear this for me?
He holds onto it, and he's like, I'm sure I can make this work, buddy. We'll talk. I'll carry it for you. We might not be able to carry it all the time, but definitely anything for you, bud. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, and it just kind of sinks into it. Oh, shakes off the material a little bit.
I feel slightly weird.
Yeah.
Are we?
Abernath.
Yes. Allie, right?
Yes. You mentioned we could use your teleporters. It would be like, will we be receiving a form of proof of membership to your collective?
Oh, of course. Yes, absolutely. You must. We'll have those stamped and minted, in this process. I'm just simply finishing off this list for your compatriot over there. In the meantime,
we'll be receiving the monetary reward as well during that time.
That was me going, not him going, There we go.
Oh my god.
All right. Oh, I guess I can do this too.
Yeah.
It'll be risky, but I can say that. No,
Risky
I can't say that.
business.
Never mind.
Don't say it then.
Never mind.
Woo.
Okay. So, he finishes the list, rips it out of his little handbook, and gives it to you, Sundial. He hands you a list of these locations. And I will...
Oh, dear.
and he says, those are the locations of, at the very least, an outpost with a teleportation circle for our humble guild, the Camden's Hall. Simply state your name upon your arrival, and they will be more than happy to process you through the teleportation circle, verily. We will go ahead and give you these for now. And he reaches over, opens up a drawer, pulls out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Camben's tokens. 6? No, yeah, 5 Camben's tokens. Sorry. 5 Camben's tokens, the same ones that you just had on you. And he hands one to each of you. This will, at the very least, prove your membership. We can have your name added into our system and spread throughout our network post-haste.
What is the Camben's token made out of?
It looks like a gold piece, but instead of the standard mint of a gold piece, it looks like it has Abernathy's head on one side, and on the other side, it says, in the circle around the outside, it says Camben's Hall token of Camben's Hall token. In the middle, it has just a plain stamped circle, it looks like, with a logo that would represent Camben's Hall.
Got
just
it.
a plain stamped circle with a C, basically.
I got it. I'll keep that in mind, in memory.
It doesn't look like it's made of gold, though. It looks like it's brassed over iron.
Okay. I'll still keep mind of that.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I'm pretty sure. Did I make a logo for Camben's Hall? I don't believe I did. I'll go ahead and put that on this page, too.
1d4 bludgeoning damage and has a reach of 10 feet.
Yes, it does.
I wrote that down when I first got it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Goodness. It does 1d4 bludgeoning damage?
Yes.
Yeah, 1d4 bludgeoning damage and a range of 10 feet.
My God.
Somewhere Magneto chuckles.
Huh. So, by the way, the reason
That is a very basic rendition of what the backside of the token looks like. I am not drawing Abernathy's head. It's very complex.
So the reason that I asked
Yes.
For the list is, one, because Sundial will eventually get transportation or transportation circle as a spell, and so he'll be able to use the spell and such. And
There you
so
go.
we can have like movement.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
You might want to tell Abernathy about that, though. This transportation is mostly between teleportation circle locations. If you just pop in unannounced, could be
I
something.
can also take sending. I don't know.
There you go. So, so he gives you the list of locations. There's obviously the central AGOTS hub that you are in right now. There's an outpost in Polik. P-O-L-I-K, Polik. There's an outpost in New York City, in the borough of Sunglow Heights.
Nice.
New York City, Sunglow Heights. You can just write N-U-C.
Trazhie, are you writing this down?
I am writing this down. That's not where I live. Never mind. I was
That
like,
is
wait,
not where
that's
you
not
used
I
to live, no. And then there are 4 towns on here, which either belong to Fergan or Nihan, the 2 other continents, two of the 3 other populous continents on Gios, the world. There's a location in Ferbottenburg. F-E-R-B-O-T-T-E-N-B-U-R-G. Ferbottenburg.
It's one word.
One word. All one word. There is an outpost in Bolokamsk. B-O-L-O-K-A-M-S-K. Bolokamsk. There is an outpost in Semberon. S-E-M-B-E-R-R-O-N. Semberon.
Okay.
And finally, there is an
They're
outpost in...
fantastic names, by the way.
And there is finally there is an outpost in Masayamusa. M-A-S-A-Y-A-M-U-S-A. Masayamusa. Ferbottenburg, Bolokamsk, and Semberon are all on the continent of Fergan. Masayamusa is on the continent of Nihan.
Got it. Where did we just come from?
You were in Squog.
Squog. So is there one in Squog then? Because we went to Squog.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I feel like Squog.
Thank you
has
for
the
catching me
same,
on that.
like,
Squog is.
ability-
I believe I mentioned that Squog is one of the is either the largest or one of the largest cities in Bogey. Yes.
You guys remember when like 5 years ago it was really fun to be able to say squad?
Squog.
I was only asking because I didn't know if it was a temporary circle that they had there, but I definitely want to go back to Squog at some point, so I
Yes.
want to know if it was a permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the 3 after Newark City were in.
Fergon. F-E-R''G-O-N.
Got it. Thank you.
The first continent that I made when I first made this world.
Yay!
So, ergo, the one I know the most about. And Masayumusa is a Nihon, K-N-I''H-A-N. Yeah, there is a
just didn't
silent
have
K.
K.
Yeah, there is a silent K before the knee.
I had
did.
it
There was
all
no way anyone could have known that. I forgot about that. All right, so Abernathy then turns to your group. For bringing back Adalbrecht safely, and for acquiring us a new scouting aid in the form of, looks to the mark on the top of the dog's head, Kate, you will be rewarded. And he steps back to the back wall and pulls a book on one of the bookshelves and sets it back. And you watch as a separate wall like slides back and into the wall behind him as he gestures into what appears to be an armory. I cannot promise that we have much in the way of stunning items in here, but feel free to take one item each.
I thought the agreement was money.
I'll
I
accept
believe it was open to
this.
negotiation. If you would like money instead of an item, we can certainly provide it.
God, do I have detect magic? Please tell me I do.
I would prefer mine in cash.
All right, then. Shall 150 gold be sufficient?
Allie blinks really hard. Poker face drops and goes, that sounds excellent.
Abernathy just snaps, and you see a small, what appears to be kobold figure walk out from another door in the room, an open door, a door that, like, you can obviously see this door. And he walks out from a door holding, like, a sack in his hands, just like, and he, like, walks over. Thank you. Picks it up, hands it to you.
150?
Should be exactly that amount.
I don't check, I just pocket it.
You have a coin purse of 150 gold.
Okay, can I just add that to my
Of,
coin count?
quote, 150 gold.
Okay, so I can't just add it straight to my, gotta check.
It would be a minor downtime activity to count if you really wanted to count.
Is there any magic items in this room?
Do you have detect magic?
I do not, but I do have an arcana of +7.
Just by looking, you can make the
I have detect
assumption.
magic.
Oh boy. Willow, would you like to cast detect magic?
Yes.
All right. This room, by the way, long, with weapon racks on either side. This is basically just one long hallway, and you see that it tapers off into two more that kind of jut out from the side of it. Looking down this row, you cast detect magic. The wash of energy flows out from you and into the room ahead of you. Aside from the energies that you are already aware are magic, you pick up a fair amount, I'll say a double-digit number of other magical entities within this room.
Okay. Okay.
Cracking team.
So, lining the walls are swords, shields, bracers, sets of armor, basic helmets, basic helmets, basic hats.
Wands, maybe?
No wands. You don't see any wands to begin with. In here, you also see books, spell cases, or not spell cases, scroll cases rather. You see more exotic-looking weaponry adorning the walls. You see, you know, halberds, pikes, specialty weaponry, if you will. Down one branch hallway, you see what appear to be the beginnings of a collection of powder-based weaponry, like cannons, firearms. But these are very basic, like, artillery cannons. These are like, you would haul this out with a team of people, and you would pack it, and you would fire it, not like hand cannon. As well as some other basic adornments. And down the other hallway, you see vestments and robes and raiments and clothes that are not armor. That appear to be, you know, formal wear if someone was invited to a gala or otherwise.
Okay. What is popping off as magic?
A lot of the swords and basic weapons are popping off as magical. Seems like most of them. It seems like most of these swords are like, you can attest that these would probably just be like +1 swords or +1 weapons. Some of the exotic weapons are lighting up like strong auras around some of the exotic weaponry.
Is there like
If you are thinking about the exotic weaponry, might it perhaps count for multiple parties, because those are quite expensive, and we like to use those for more dangerous missions.
I quote, one item from the area each?
We will talk about certain items. So,
Sounds like a liar.
the man knows what inventory he has and what he would like to keep for use for Camden's Hall, if he can get away with
all
it.
I care about is that if there's swords, is there a dancing blade here?
It does not
or
appear.
an animated sword.
Does not appear that there would be one.
Fuck. All right.
Is there a cape of protection
Oh yeah.
by any chance?
Bracers of defense. I think I can use those, right?
Just something to help with the AC.
Odds or evens?
What was that?
Odds or evens?
Whatever you want.
Let's do even. Excuse me.
6.
Haha!
On the wall, you see a flowing red cape with a simple buckle at the neck that has a shield on it.
Nice.
Ooh. What's that one?
Ah, cloak of protection. Nice.
Ooh.
Good choice. And he kind of like takes it down off the wall for you and hands it to you.
Yeah.
And you watch as it buckles, it just like instantly flows to fit. You may I believe a cloak of protection +1.
Let me double check, because I have one of those
So
myself.
cloak of protection gives you a +1 to AC and all saves, I believe.
+1 to AC and saving throws.
and saving throws while you wear this cloak.
There you go.
Nope.
I have a blue one with a red interior.
There you go.
I give Willow a fist bump for cloak buddies.
Yeah.
Anyone else looking for something simply specific?
Bracers of
One at a time.
Go ahead, Dono.
bracers of defense.
Odds
My
or
AC
evens?
is shit. Fuck. I don't want to not get this. Odds.
3. Against the wall, you see a pair of bracers crossed. You see a pair of bracers crossed and hanging against the wall. The bracers extend all the way to the middle of each finger. And Abernathy sees you kind of eyeing those.
Look at my
Let me
tiny
see.
hands.
Let me see. Bracers of defense. +2 if you are wearing no armor and using no shield.
I am not wearing any armor or using a shield.
All right. He looks to those and says, defense braces. Seems as if somebody of your caliber could use something like this. He kind of like takes those off the wall. And he hands them to you.
Fantastic. I will add bracers.
Add bracers of defense to your inventory, please.
Yes, add.
Quinlan.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a fucking tank. I'm not.
I don't know that there would be anything there that would work for him. Is there like a... Oh, I can't think of the name of it. That'll have to wait.
What are you thinking about generally? Like,
anything weaponry wise that would be like a step up?
You should get the rod of many weapons.
So you're
Or
basically
no.
looking for something that would replace your rope dart.
More like the quarterstaff that I carry but
Replace
never
your quarterstaff.
use.
Alrighty.
Or if there is like a chain rope dart, like a chain dart, that'd be cool.
Pick a number between 1 and 20.
11.
High or low?
High.
13.
Aha!
No, 18. Even better.
Aha!
Oh!
On the wall, Willow, in your detect magic, you detect a slightly stronger presence coming from one of the quarterstaffs that are lined up in the weapon bench.
Zog got like a dope item, didn't he?
I just point at it.
All right. Willow is pointing at a quarterstaff that appears...
Walking over.
It appears to have a slightly darker wood tone than the rest of the quarterstaffs, with several visible knots and burls in the wood being shaved over and sanded over, sanded down to a smooth finish. You also see at the top of the quarterstaff, it comes to a slight point, just like a dull point. And Abernathy says, quarterstaff of warning.
Oh. That's not a bad item.
Quarterstaff of warning?
Quarterstaff
Yes.
of warning.
Okay.
Warns you of danger. You have advantage on initiative. You and any companions within 30 feet of you cannot be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. The weapon awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
Seeing that Willow is pointing to that, I'm gonna walk over and pick it up and
Feels light in the hand.
do some work with it. Back and forth spins overhead.
Ooh, this feels like a good fit.
Looking down it.
Retrieved that from one of the previous dungeons in Fergon. Seemed to be lying dormant next to its previous owner. Seems as if it did not do its job. Hey, there you go.
Yeah. And just kind of feeling the chaotic energy of the last couple of days and being a little bit closer to Sundial now, he just kind of goes, "It's mine."
Sundial
Mahogany.
will look at you with, like, yes, exactly.
Mahogany. Varnish. Little magic taste. Allie. You got your gold. That's right. Zog. Zog. I don't want to speak for him, but he has gotten some pretty cool stuff recently. He'll just kind of look at the group and he'll be like, honestly, I'll just take the gold. And Abernathy will say, certainly. And he, like, snaps again. Same kobold, same sack, same process. Dadley can add 150 gold to his character sheet. And as you all kind of come to your separate but equal conclusions, he takes you out of the armory room and into the lounge again. And he says, well, I certainly cannot thank you enough for retrieving our compatriot, as always. As I've previously stated, your names will all be added to our network and registry for use in future Camden's Hall requests, needs, wants, whatever have you. I will put it plain. You are now one of us, each and every one of you, and we will do everything in our part when you are in our company to make sure that you do not forget. that your act of bravery will not be forgotten. You have my word. And he places his hand to his heart. Ah. Hand just kind of phases into your chest a little bit. Makes a loop of jelly. Like, now would be as good of a time as any to bring this up. You were different when I sent you off.
I'm figuring it out. I have no idea. I died. And
Oh, my sincere
now I'm
apologies.
this. No, I'm figuring it out.
He sees, like, centered in your gut, like, the shattered remains of the orb that you were in, and he was like, oh. Interesting. Well, I do certainly hope that you figure it out, my good man.
Yeah. Same.
So, in terms of the original deal, I believe you needed to go to Squog to figure something out, you said.
Yes. We are looking for an individual located there. Did I ask him about the person? I don't think I did.
You did not initially.
Riverbank, Mike Duggins is who we're looking for, right?
Mike Duggins, yes.
It's
The
one of the few
Precisely.
things
the librarian guy.
No, that was the guy who brought you into the tunnels. No, wait. Yes. Sorry. Mike Duggins. A collector of sorts,
Yes.
as previously
Yeah,
stated.
he's the one that knew about the coin that I have to go and talk to before I can do anything.
Oh,
with it.
that librarian guy. He was he was back in Squog as well. You would be able to talk to him. I gave him a name, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Pinnacle. No. Research. Sorry, his name was his virtue name was Research.
Yes.
Pinnacle Blockade. Pinnacle Blockade was where you ended up initially.
Okay.
Which actually means that Squog is a tentative teleportation circle, because they teleported you to a teleportation circle that they have access to, but it's not directly tied to Cambon's Hall.
Okay.
Yes. So they teleported you to the Pinnacle Blockade. So, on that note, we're approaching the 3-hour mark.
We should take a long rest.
Yes.
I would also appreciate some time to visit, to take care of some personal matters here.
Absolutely. We can have your transportation arranged whenever you would like. Go, rest up. I believe we have a couple of bunk rooms available here if you cannot think of anywhere else.
I look at Quinlan and Zog. It's like, we can share, right?
Thank you, Abernathy.
You're quite welcome.
Quinlan just nods at you after thinking for a moment.
All right. Well then, if you have nowhere else to go, they're located down the stairs to the right.
Awesome. I'm gonna go down there and go to sleep because I am
Just immediately.
There's a lot of shit that sundials.
The sun in the sky is setting when you take a look out of the windows when you re-enter into the main hall, and
So can I infer that shops would or would not be open currently?
some might not.
Hmm.
You're not sure.
I'll go in the morning. I gotta count this money anyway.
All right.
Fucking money.
So, as the party retires for the night in the basement,
I will bunk with Willow if she doesn't protest.
so
All good.
That just
Allie and Willow, Quinlan and Sundial, and Zog would all be able to share one room, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I just sleep in a trash can. So.
exactly. So
If there's a bed, I sleep under it.
not a lot of ground clearance for this bed.
I mean, I'm tall, but I'm skinny, you know? Like,
You just kind of like lay on the floor and roll under the bed.
yeah.
Long noodle.
The best
is what
sleep
Long.
ever.
If my head fits, the rest of me fits.
So,
That's true.
as the party retires in the bunks of Cambon's Hall, and the sun sets on another fine day of adventuring, the plans for the future of the group are now open. And much discussion is to be had as to where the party shall go next, and what awaits the fairies' men. So, we will call it an episode there, and as a reward for finally completing this dungeon, I will say that you have all leveled up.
Woo!
Woo!
You may make adjustments and changes to your character accordingly. And for the next session, which I believe will be in 2 weeks, on April 21st, you will all be level 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
I rolled a 6 on my hit points.
There you go.
I'm gonna do that later.
Yeah. So, until then, we'll call it an episode. So until next time, your adventure matters. Roll your initiative. And take care. Goodbye. Bye.